Hi, everyone. Tom Jefferson here. We're doing another CFO video, CFO contacts. So I promise I will not spam you and I will not record a video unless there's information that I think is important for you to know. One of my pet peeves is all the emails and Teams meetings and text messages, and I promise I will not spam you. So today, what I wanted to cover was how our users can know the status of their payment. We get a lot of calls on that. We spend time on that agencies can do just as easily as we can and access the same information that we have. So I'm going to start out by sharing my screen, and I'm going to explain our process within our system of how we process your requisitions. Okay, here we go. Okay, what we have here is just the general workflow. So when an agency logs in to the hub to request their monthly reimbursement, they're entering a requisition. And that's a form that's just a request, right? So then we review that request, and once we approve it, well, it's initially approved, then a purchase order is created. So that's sort of a commitment, or that is a commitment that now we've accepted that request and we're committed to making that payment. And then a purchase order is processed and a payment is made and money is sent. So the statuses associated with that within our system. For requisitions, we have three statuses: waiting for approval, rejected, and approved. So they're pretty self-explanatory. Waiting and approval, waiting for approval, it's in our queue. We review them first in, first out. This takes us between 5 to 7 days. We have lots of agencies. We have lots of monthly reimbursements to do. So we do them first in, first out. And from this point, moving forward, processing the requisition, processing the purchase order, processing the payment, it can be up to 21 days from here. Now, our average turnaround time is much less than 21 days, but this is just expecting the worst, planning for the best, expecting the worst type of a mentality. So it can take up to this long. And 21 days is what the fiscal policy says. So we do take pride in processing them more quickly than this. So once the requisition is approved, that's the first level of approval. That's when primarily Jesse or Mel approve the requisition. And then it goes on. We have a commitment to make that payment to the agency. So when it's outstanding, that means that it's waiting to be finally approved. As I look at everything that goes out the door, then it has to get approved by our Sean Boyle, our CEO, and a council member. So it takes some time to do that. So it can take up to, 5 to 7 days to handle this. So when it's waiting to be approved, the status that you'll see is outstanding. Once it has been approved, it'll be a status of received. And it's that terminology because it's as if we had ordered some goods or services. We have a commitment to purchase those goods or services, and now we've confirmed that we have received those goods or services. So that's what received means. We've received that PO. And finally, completed means the payment has been made. And that takes a few days to process the EFT file, send it to the bank, etc. So we do send notice to agencies electronically when the payment is scheduled, telling them when they can expect to receive the cash. So if you are not receiving that, let us know. And if you want to change the person who receives that, let us know. So you can see here, accounts payable at cscslc.org would be the best place to, the best email to send that to. Excuse me. So I'm going to stop sharing here for a minute. So the next thing I want to do is show you within the hub of where to go to see these statuses. So I'm going to share my other screen now. Okay, so here's my other screen. Now this is my dashboard. Yours won't be as busy because you don't have as many authorizations, user authorities as I do in this system, but the idea is the same. What you want to do to check on your statuses is you go here to these three lines, the hamburger. And you'll come down here to purchasing. Now to check your requisition statuses, you come here to requisitions. And this is what you'll see. As soon as you press search, then this grid will populate. I'm not going to populate so that everybody doesn't see what we have going on in our system right now. You will only see your agency's activity here. We have it locked down for that. So here is where the status will be. There'll be columns. One of those columns is for status. So for requisitions, remember we have waiting for approval, rejected, and approved. So when you see that you have an approved requisition, now you need to go a step further. You need to go check out the status of the purchase order. So again, go to those three lines, the hamburger, you then go to purchase orders, and it's the same view, only this is for purchase orders. So you would press this search button and that grid will populate. Now I want to encourage you to do the grid view. There's two options here. Just like in our previous video, there's a list view and a grid view. I want to encourage you to use the grid view and then save that view as your default view. It just makes things easier. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing here. So those are the statuses. Now, before we go, I'm going to summarize it all. Back to this screen. And what we have here is, I want you all to know that this is the turnaround we're discussing. It was for 21 days. And I do want to, again, state our average is less than 21 days. We need to make sure we're paying the right people. We're not getting defrauded. Everybody has to deal with that these days. But I wanted to review finally this timeline for you. So 21 days between payments. There's this first requisition phase. So that could be up to 21 days to payment. It takes us 7 days to process the requisition during this phase. And then it moves into a purchase order once the requisition has been approved. Now we're doing the final approval and processing for payment here. So you're about 12 days out max. So it takes us about 5 days to process this. And these are calendar days, so they include weekends and holidays. And finally, once the purchase order is received, that means we are processing the payment. And you can expect 4 to 7 days from payment. So if you see, and once it's received, it'll go to completed, as you see here. So if you see a completed purchase order, but you do not yet have the cash, that means we have sent the cash out and it's being processed by banks. That's out of our hands. Usually it's a quick turnaround, but I can't explain what they do to make all that happen with with the ACH files. So check for a remittance. And if you're not finding that remittance, let us know and we'll double check the email. So thank you. That's what I wanted to go over today. Also, hopefully have some exciting news coming up. I think I have found a solution to the ongoing issue where users try to change one line item, one distribution, and everything else automatically recalculates. I think I have found a solution to that. It takes a bit of back work or back end setup for us to do. So I'm researching it and making sure it's a functional thing. And I know that's been a headache for people. I'm sorry. But I wanted to share that, and I will keep you posted as soon as I know. Thank you for your time. I promise once again, I will only send these videos when there's information that I think is important for you. You all are our users, just like our internal users. So through these videos, I'm trying to do a better job of keeping everybody up to date, and hopefully it makes life a little less stressful for you. I know these reimbursements aren't the easiest because we do ask for a lot. But thank you all for all that you do. Our success is your success. Have a great day.